Hi, DJ Dan Pelletier here with keys to delivering an amazing toast at a wedding. Many people get nervous when they have to speak in front of a crowd. Me, personally, I love speaking in front of the crowd. It's the one-on-ones that make me a little nervous, but that's a story for another day. Not everybody's me. Not everybody has a degree in theater or gets a lot of practice doing this, and it can make you really nervous, and that's completely understandable. So I'm going to give you the keys that are going to unlock your ability to give a wonderful and memorable toast. Key number one is to relax and breathe. Now that might sound crazy. Breathe, that's something I do as a reflex. It's automatic, but when we're in an uncomfortable situation, a lot of times our body does forget to breathe. Before you talk, and I do this every time I'm getting ready to make an announcement at an event, deep breath in, try to smile as you exhale, and give that good energy. When you start to feel yourself get nervous, shake it off a little bit, take another breath. Try to avoid your ums and ha's and filler words and just breathe. My next tip is 0.75 speed. When we're having a everyday casual conversation, a lot of times we speak very fast, we don't always finish our words, and we're listening differently than we listen to somebody that's speaking in a performance setting, whether they're acting or giving a speech or a toast or teaching or something like that. So it's important that when people are listening differently, that we need to speak a little differently. We want to make sure that you're finishing your words as well as speaking slightly slower than probably what feels natural. I mean, you don't want to be speaking so slow that you feel like that sloth from Zootopia or something like that, but it should still feel just a little slower. People take a little bit more time to process when you're at an event like this, and you got to make sure you're accounting for that. You'll lose them if you're speaking too fastly, so just slow down. And then coming back to my first tip, breathe. Tip number 3 is know that the audience loves you. If you're speaking at a wedding, you're in a room full of friends and family and people that are there to celebrate love and romance and all the wonderful things in life. So why should they make you nervous? They want you to do well. They want to hear what you have to say. They're not there to judge you. They're not there to make fun of you or to give you feedback when you're done. They want you to do well. And they want you to celebrate these people that are very important to them, clearly. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here today. Tip number 4 is speak from the heart. Humans are emotional creatures. I know sometimes we want to be like, oh, I think with my gut, or I need to be more rational with these decisions. But weddings are all about love and emotions. So why wouldn't we lean into that? So when you're trying to come up with the content of your speech, think about what the guests of honor, whether you're friends of the bride or the groom or both of them, what do they make you feel? And how can you communicate that to everybody else in the room? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're there to celebrate, is feelings. My next tip, and one of the most important ones, is know why you are speaking. One of the biggest mistakes that creates some of the toasts that are very memorable for all the wrong reasons are when a guest forgets the purpose of the toast. Whether they're making it about themselves or making it about nothing in particular. Both of these things lead to uninteresting speeches or ones that people want to end early. When you've been asked to give a toast, it's because you mean something to the bride and groom. And conversely, it's your job to communicate what the bride and groom mean to you. It isn't a time to talk about how great you are or what you mean to them. That's clear that what you mean to them just because they chose you. You've got to make it about the guests of honor. Similarly, when I'm emceeing a wedding, even though I'm the one doing 90% of the talking for the day, I always have to remember, it's not about me. It's never about me. It's always about the bride and groom. It's always about the wedding party. It's always about getting the guests to enjoy themselves. I'm kind of one of the least important people in the room, which might sound a little bit like a paradox, but it's true. While I'm the master of ceremonies, I need to make sure that we're doing everything with the purpose of honoring the guests, creating a great atmosphere, and giving everybody a good time and keeping them on track. At no time should I be doing anything to pull attention to myself or upstage the bride and groom or the best man, the maid of honor, or any of the important guests. And it's also important that you, as the toast giver, are also making sure that you're not upstaging anybody. My next tip, don't overstay your welcome. You know, a lot of people struggle to captivate an audience for 15 minutes. Heck, some people struggle to hold people's attention for 5 minutes. A toast doesn't need to be this long, epic tale. It's better if you can get your points across as simply as possible. My next tip, and this one might be controversial, is bullet points is better than overscripting. Now, I know some people want to be perfect when they're up there, but you're a human being and human beings are flawed. So don't be afraid to be imperfect. And now you might have written out meticulously everything you want to say, but unless you're a trained actor, a meticulous script is going to probably, not allow you to connect with the audience and look at everybody. So while your face is buried looking down at your paper, you're missing out on these great moments. Do have something that will keep you on track. As I said, come up with some bullet points. But to be buried in your script is going to pull you out of the moment and allow you to not do all of the other things that I've said make for great toasts. My last tip on delivering a great toast, and this one is super important and quite possibly could be the most important one, and that is to practice. You do not want to be the first time you've given this speech to be in front of all of these people at the wedding, right? Now, I know that they are still all your friends, but if you want to feel comfortable and confident, you need to practice, because the more you practice, the more comfortable you're going to get. And don't be afraid to look a little silly when you're practicing. Trust me, as someone with a theater background, we all feel a little silly when we're rehearsing things, but it's that rehearsal and that practice that get us most comfortable for performance. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on my keys to unlocking a great toast. And if you are the best man, the maid of honor, the father of the bride, or anyone giving a speech at an event coming up and I'm the DJ, don't be afraid to reach out. I will gladly help walk you through your toast. I will help look over your script, give you some more direct feedback, and make sure that you are comfortable so we can give the bride, the groom, or whoever the guest of honor might be, the best toast ever.